Hi, this is a new episode for MS539. I'm demonstrating the innovation platform that I'm working on for my programming concepts class, C#, Windows Form programs. And in this instance, last time I showed you that none of this had graphics, but I was working on the core functionality. I've added more functionality, but I've also added a branding to this, a name, as well as working on some more of the functionality. So last time I demonstrated submitting ideas, which you can see here. What I've done here is once again made the graphics a little bit cleaner and made a working menu at the top. So if I click welcome, it goes back to the welcome. Sorry, it keeps jumping to that side of the screen. I'm on a larger screen monitor. So finally, what I've done this time, which was really important, is we had to submit an idea, but it was going to a message box, which would just confirm what the user had entered. This last week, what I've worked on is I've created a MySQL server, which is hosted remotely. I've worked on a database connection, which allows the program to push data to the database as well as retrieve data. So to give an example for that, we're going to submit a new idea. And here we are. And we're just going to do some random information to show how this works. I'm going to go ahead and pick some information here. The business unit, location, as well as idea description and scope. When we submit this, what you're going to see is it's going to pop up this message box, and it'll show you the information that's going to get submitted to the database. Last time this was just a kind of dumb message box. Now it'll actually submit it. It actually has a confirmation box now, so if you hit cancel, it's going to cancel out this information. It's going to clear the form and you'll be able to enter again. If I hit OK, what will happen is it's going to run into the database. It's going to pop up this, thank you, your idea has been submitted. And if we go to reviewing the ideas, what we'll see is at the bottom of this is the last information that we entered. What I've done here is I've used this database viewer. Anytime I click on a cell, it's going to show you all the information as well as when this was submitted. So in this case, you can see that this was submitted right there. Any of these other ones, you can see that those were submitted a few days ago. So you'll be able to have a timestamp as to when those were due. Additionally, each of these have an ID that'll stay in order of submission. The surprise me function, what it does is it'll count up the total number of ideas that are in the database, and it will randomly select a number from 1 until the top number of total ideas. So in this case, 1 to 12. As I roll through it, you can see that those numbers do indeed stay between those. You'll notice also as each of these selected IDs pop up, the appropriate information from the database will show up. So in other words, this is ID 11, Jim Jones, and here's his information, his idea, as well as the date submitted. So those are the big functions that I've added this week, and it was large because I actually have an externally hosted MySQL server that the program is pushing the data to as well as receiving. So this data is actually hosted on an external IP address. Next time I'm going to be adding the voting system, which will allow us to vote and tally votes and order these ideas based on the votes that they receive. And thanks for joining me again.